Hey guys, I wanted to do a short video to show you the difference between all of my SFT70 flashlights. This is going to help you decide which is best for you, especially because a lot of them look quite similar for beginners. I think it's going to be helpful to go through each of them. Now, I do have separate reviews of all of these lights on my channel, so you can search up that model and look for those separate reviews if you want more information. Okay, so I've got the Warrior X3 here on the left, and this throws the furthest out of all of the lights because it's just got a larger bezel. Okay, it's got a large reflector in there. You've got these 3 glass breaking beads, so it's a proper sort of tactical light, larger heat sinking area as well here, okay, which is good. The more material you have on there, the better that light's going to be at dissipating that heat, absorbing that heat from the LED, okay, but the offset, not the offset, but the caveat there is basically you have a larger light that you need to carry around, and some people don't like that. The back button here has a double stage button, so you've got half press to go for medium mode and then full press for turbo mode. So quite simple to operate. The one thing to keep in mind with Olight is that they do have proprietary charging and proprietary batteries in there. So it's not really for everyone, but for a lot of people, it makes things easier. Here is the next one coming up. This is the Fenix TK20R V2, one of my favorite SFT70 flashlights. And a lot of people say Fenix look a bit boring, and I wouldn't argue with them there, but they do have tried and tested designs that just are so reliable. And you can open up this section here. You can see there's a hidden USB-C port underneath. I like that function, hides away that port, and allows you to achieve onboard charging without the vulnerabilities of having that port exposed to water and blunt force damage. The port is also internally waterproofed. It's a great design. The bezel diameter, as you can see, it's smaller than the Warrior X3, so a little bit easier to carry around, but still, you're looking at a pretty large large flashlight. You've got these little crenulated edges as well, so you can use that to break a window, but there are no glass breaking beads. Fenix don't include those on their lights. Okay, the good thing is that it does, like I said, takes non-proprietary charging, USB-C charging, and it takes a non-proprietary cell if you want to put one of those in there. So for a lot of people, that's a winner. You've got this nice little clip here on the side there, and you've got these 2 buttons. So basically, one button memorizes whatever mode you want. You can get to memorize turbo. You can get it to memorize low mode. Okay, so that one there, I've just got memorizing turbo. That second little button is for 1-step strobe. I really like these two switch options here on the back, and I believe Fenix have released a new version of this light. It's the TK20R UE, and it has a little selector rotation switch on the back that allows you to go into different sort of profiles. So yeah, quite an interesting light, and I'd say this is a very reliable option, and basically just does the job. So you've got this other one here coming up next, and this is the Nitecore P23i. I really like this flashlight. It's one of my favorite lights, and you've got USB-C charging, onboard USB-C charging. Great thing about this light as well, it's got a bezel diameter, which is pretty much, it's quite similar to the TK20R V2, okay, but it performs pretty much the same, okay. And even though it's a little smaller, as you can see there, it does get pretty hot though. Battery indicator there on the side. It's got that same dual switch design, that tactical dual switch design, so you can basically press that button there on the back to access whatever mode you have memorized. That button there goes straight to that 1-step strobe. Okay. Oh, another thing I thought I should mention as well, it takes a proprietary cell, so that can be a deal breaker for some of you. But if we look at all of these lights so far, you'll notice that these 2 are just a little bit unwieldy. It's difficult to carry those around with you. I'd say that the P23i kind of gets to the point where it's possible, a little bit easier to carry around in your jeans pocket. But these other 2 here, just especially the Warrior X3, it's very hard. You're not going to fit that into your jeans pocket. That one, I've done it before, but not so comfortable. Moving on to the S21. This is the RovyVon S21, and this has got to be one of my most favorite flashlights. It's Just the look of it itself is amazing. It's got a micro arc oxidation finish. It also comes with a black version if you want. There's a tactile version of this light called the GL1, which has pretty much the exact same specifications, but a tail switch that allows you access to turbo, a slightly modified UI. But yeah, this one here has this little rotating dial here on the front, the rotating switch, so it allows you to access one-step strobe. That goes to lock the light out. Then that just goes to the normal modes, and you press this side switch to switch on, press and hold for turbo. Okay, and so it memorizes that last mode as well. It's very ergonomic. I love this sort of rotational design, and there's a decent amount of pressure you need to apply as well, with friction points at these two little sections here and the center section. So yeah, I feel like it's not going to accidentally activate my bag if I'm careful enough with it. Unless I've got tons of stuff rattling around in there, perhaps then I'll just loosen the tail cap. But generally speaking, it feels pretty sturdy. And you can see here, it's got quite a large reflector for its size. Okay, if we compare it to, say, the P23i, it's pretty much got, look at it, it's pretty much got like a deeper reflector. It's a very similar, deeper reflector, and RovyVon managed to achieve that by using less material. So you see on the head there, it's less thick than the P23i. So although you get similar performance with this one compared to the P23i, it just steps down a little bit faster. So when you're using turbo mode, it only allows you 10 seconds access to turbo before it starts stepping down. Okay, because it's just not enough material there in order to heat sink. So yeah, there's always caveats, there's always trade-offs. You know, when you take away something, it adds to another area, vice versa. This is another Fenix light I have, the PD36R Pro, and I've also got the Olight Warrior X. And the big difference between these and the others, as you can see, is that they all have a very slim profile. It's the same diameter all the way down from the head. Okay, so this really just prioritizes the more compact form factor. Okay, so you're not going to get as much long-range performance as any of these other lights, but this one's going to be lighter, easier in the pocket. But again, it's going to step down faster. It doesn't have as much heat sinking because of these smaller heads and thinner material as well. For some people that works though, and they prefer that. You still get quite a decent amount of performance on both these lights, 2,300 lumens and I believe 3,000 lumens on the PD36R Pro. So that's basically about it. If you want to see more information on all these lights, remember just search them on my channel and you'll be able to see the full length review for each of them. Let's see how all of these perform side by side. We're going to test out a whole bunch of SFT70 lights. I've got the RovyVon S21 here on turbo. Okay, jeez. It's really impressive. Hits those trees out the back. And of course, the turbo mode only lasts for 10 seconds before it starts stepping down. I can just see it stepping down already to high. Okay, we've got to hold down that button in order to access that turbo mode. Okay. A pretty impressive throw. Lights up those trees easily out the back. Coming up next, I've got the Olight Warrior X. Very large hotspot, but still manages to reach the trees out the back. Okay, not as strong, but really large hotspot. I would say quite a practical hotspot as well. Lots of spill on this turbo mode. Very impressive. Look at that. Olight Warrior X3, and this one is a monster thrower. No issues at all reaching those trees all the way out the back. Very impressive throw. The spill is quite limited though. Really just see that spill up ahead of you. But there's not really much nearby to me where I'm walking, close to my feet. But it is a great throwy light. Nitecore P23i. And again, look at that. The P23i is an excellent performer. It gets super hot, but I find it doesn't step down as fast as the others, and when it does step down, it still maintains quite a high level of output. Large hotspot as well, very intense hotspot. Incredible. Fenix TK20R V2. Quite a similar sort of beam to the PD23. Quite a similar beam to the P23i, but I do notice that this light steps down faster than the P23i. Okay, but super impressive. And lots of spill as well. Fenix PD36R Pro, and this one reminds me a little bit of the Olight Warrior XS. It's much larger hotspot. Obviously, the larger the bezel, you're just going to get a much smaller hotspot and more throw. Generally better heat dissipation, but you trade that off for obviously the size of that light in your pocket. It's already stepped down a bit from turbo. There we go.